Right now at 6, the American Legion Post in Joplin pays respects to our fallen veterans ahead of Memorial Day. Plus, St. Louis veterans work to get a proper burial for a Navy veteran with no known relatives. Also, a Disney princess is making an appearance in Joplin. She's not on those bikes. There she is. She's going to be stopping by at Color Me Rad. We'll tell you which princess, if you can't tell, made a visit. And
growing outrage in Uvalde, Texas. I'm Danya Backus with why the investigation is not only into the gunman, but how police responded to the massacre.
You're watching the KOAM News at 6, and it starts right now. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Chris Warner. With Memorial Day coming up, local veterans are paying tribute to our fallen heroes. Now, on Saturday, the American Legion Post 13 hosted a Veterans Recognition Ceremony. The group set flags at our veterans' graves, had a 21-gun salute, and played taps as a tribute to those who have died. Despite all being veterans themselves, they say they can still take care of our other veterans in the community.
We need to honor the veterans. It's a major sacrifice that they've given, and even if they didn't die in the war, if they died afterwards, the fact that they served their country is something that we all need to honor, and Memorial Day is the perfect day to do that.
Now, the group also honored one member's father, a World War II veteran who passed away during the pandemic and never received military honors when buried. That veteran was honored today. St. Louis veterans worked with a local hospital to provide a burial with full military honors for a Navy vet with no known loved ones. The solemn ceremony was a powerful way to commemorate the true meaning of Memorial Day. Ryan Henson has that story.
One final ride for a man who put his life on the line for our country.
All veterans, they signed their name on a dotted line. They committed to protecting our country, protecting our freedoms. They all deserve their dignified burial.
Neil Nighthawk Hill leads the band of Patriot Guard riders through St. Louis to Jefferson Barracks, the final resting place of an unnamed veteran who died in Barnes Jewish Hospital's care. So not much is known about the Navy veteran, but he served from 1967 to 72. And the Office of Decedent Affairs at Barnes Jewish Hospital says they looked for 6 months looking for loved ones left behind. The BJC Veterans Connect group was side by side with Patriot Guard riders.
When people leave the military, the one thing they miss the most is those that served by their side. We never leave a comrade behind, and that's true even after we've hung up our uniform.
The Healthcare Network says care doesn't stop after a person passes on. Chandra White with Barnes Jewish Hospital heads the only Office of Decedent Affairs in the state. After an unsuccessful search of loved ones, she was happy a caring community was there in the end.
Make sure that you stay in touch with your family, and so when this time comes that they're there to represent your loved ones.
A special tribute just before Memorial Day weekend.
And to be able to support this veteran as all of us did today, and to receive that flag is very touching. I know all of us there were teary-eyed.
Ryan Henson.
Now, today at Color Me Rad from 10 to 12 in Joplin, they surprised their guests by bringing in a special one, Princess Elsa from Frozen. They were treated with a performance of her singing different songs from the movie, followed by a book reading, arts and crafts, and lastly, a dance party.
One of the little girls kept wanting to go back to Elsa and hug her, and she didn't want to leave. And, you know, unfortunately, Elsa's only here for 2 hours, and so the poor little girl started crying. But the kids are so excited. We had one little girl that didn't know Elsa was going to be here, and when she walked into the room, Elsa was singing, and the pure joy, that look on her face.
A Color Me Rad has locations in Joplin and Webb City. This afternoon at Hideout Harley-Davidson, the Four Kings Law Enforcement Motorcycle Club hosted a car and motorcycle show for Memorial Weekend. The event was held to raise money for police officers, firefighters, and other first responders, as well as military.
That money is used directly for anybody injured or just in need. Any officer, EMT, firefighter, military, that's what we're here to help for. Military, all these first responders, they don't make a lot of money, so when in their time of need, we want to be there financially to help them out as best we can.
Four Kings is a not-for-profit club. 34 state weather, it warmed up quite nicely today. Nick Kelly joining us.
Yeah, it did certainly that, Chris. After some of us had to deal with a couple of showers, even a couple of storms this morning, but everybody was dry this afternoon. Still looking okay, despite a little cloud cover from our camera at 7th and Rangeline. Nothing to worry about as we get this evening going, but out to the west, you can see a couple of severe thunderstorm watches. That's primarily lining up ahead of a warm front that will be coming through tomorrow. It might want to throw a random shower or storm our way by sunrise on some of our western counties on the Kansas side by tomorrow morning, but it's primarily going to keep us warm for sure as we go into Sunday. In the meantime, lower to middle 80s. That's where we all sit right now. We'll drop back through the 80s, 70s, down to 69 as we go through the overnight. Overall, though, I want to keep us warm actually for the next several days, and that does include tomorrow and Memorial Day while we keep things dry as well. But there are more rain chances to get a return as we go into next week. We'll break it all down here in a few, Chris.
All right, Nick, thank you. Well, there are new questions today about the decisions of police the day of the mass shooting at an elementary school in South Texas. And we're hearing from a teacher whose quick actions helped save children in her classroom. News correspondent Danya Bacchus reports on the developments from Uvalde, Texas.
She asked 911 to please send the police now.
Students trapped inside a classroom with a gunman at Robb Elementary School repeatedly called 911 begging for help. One said multiple people were dead, but 8 or 9 were still alive. The police commander, who was on scene, mistakenly believed no children were at risk and the suspect was barricaded. At one point, 19 officers were outside the classroom but didn't move in.
Of course it was not the right decision. It was a wrong decision, period. There's no excuse for that.
Jesse Rodriguez's 10-year-old daughter Annabelle was killed in her classroom.
They let our baby get slaughtered, sacrificed, while their ass is sitting behind a wall.
Frantic parents stood outside the school during the shooting, begging for police to intervene. Inside, one teacher's quick thinking helped save lives.
I just heard gunfire.
4th grade teacher Nicole Ogburn heard loud bangs Tuesday morning.
I just stood up and looked out my window that was right there close by, and I was like, there's a guy with a gun. Oh my God, get down.
She instructed her students to get on the ground as bullets came through the window. None of them were hurt. President Biden will visit Uvalde tomorrow to mourn with the community. Danya Bacchus, CBS News, Uvalde, Texas.
The 21 victims would have started their summer break this weekend. And we take this time now to honor one of our many 4-state heroes. Sergeant Ian Whitchley served in the Army in Iraq from 2009 to 2011. His hometown, Munnsville, New York. We're proud to recognize Sergeant Ian Whitchley, tonight's 4-state hero. And of course, if you'd like to learn more about our other heroes or nominate one of your own, you can do that anytime at KOAMnewsnow.com. Coming up, the number of kids with hepatitis continues to climb, and what a new survey says about how Americans feel about pregnant women getting the COVID vaccine. So we show you this quite often. I want to tell you exactly why. This is our tower cam of our towers. It's sponsored by R.E. Smith Construction. This is for the KOAM More Power project. It's a very big deal here. And if you want to find out exactly why it's such a big deal here, you can check out our website, KOAMnewsnow.com/power. Well, the number of sudden and mysterious hepatitis cases in children has gone up to at least 650 worldwide. That's according to the World Health Organization on Friday. About a third of the cases are in the UK and 216 have been reported in the US. Around 75% of the patients are under 5 and had been healthy before this illness. Common viruses known to cause hepatitis have been ruled out. Researchers are looking into environmental exposures, toxins, and perhaps co-infections with another virus. A majority of Americans have issues or concerns with COVID-19 vaccines related to pregnancy. According to a Kaiser Family Foundation survey released on Friday, more than 60% of U.S. adults either believe false information or have doubts about the safety of shots for pregnant women. As for women who are either pregnant or trying to get pregnant, about 25% are against pregnant women getting vaccinated. The findings are based on about 1,500 people questioned earlier this month. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention recommends COVID-19 shots for women whether they're pregnant or not. Officials say that 70% of pregnant women in the U.S. are fully vaccinated compared to 77% of adults overall. Cutting back on alcohol could be better for your heart, and the latest on the spread of monkeypox. Bradley Blackburn has some of the week's top health stories.
The monkeypox virus is causing concern among global health experts. The illness had rarely been outside Africa, but the World Health Organization says nearly 200 cases have been reported in more than 20 countries, including the U.S. The agency says the outbreak is still containable. Those fully vaccinated against COVID-19 who experience a breakthrough infection are contagious for shorter periods of time and have a lower chance of spreading it to others. A new study of more than 170 people found that secondary transmission was significantly less common in fully vaccinated people, and the virus was detected for 8 to 10 days in the partially or unvaccinated group, compared to only 4 days in those who were vaccinated. Less alcohol may be better for your cardiovascular health. That's according to researchers in Europe who recommend drinking no more than 1 bottle of wine or 3.5 cans of beer per week in order to minimize the risk of potential harm to your heart. And those are some of the day's top health stories. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
A little later, how the governor of New Mexico came to the rescue of some high school kids.
But first, we are looking good to get this evening started, but can we keep it that way for the entire holiday weekend? Forecast next. We kept the day pretty quiet overall, but as we advertised, we actually had some of us picking up on some isolated rain and even a couple thunderstorms this morning. The area of rain that developed out in southeastern Colorado and pushing through southern Kansas late last night actually made a quick appearance along the Kansas-Oklahoma border, but you can see how that fell apart as it worked over the Joplin metro. But in general, this didn't do much for us. Any heavy amounts of rain with that didn't amount to more than maybe 3/4 of an inch of rain, but the rest of the day looked just like this. Partly sunny skies, looking good still from 7th and Range Line. We're at 81 at Joplin with the south wind gusting to 26 and with a dew point in the mid-60s. Not too terribly muggy, but it does make it feel like 83 degrees outside. Everybody is either near 80 or pushing up into the mid-80s at the top of the 6 o'clock hour. Everyone's going to drop back through the 80s, 70s, down into the upper 60s. So even though we're mostly clear again to start the overnight out, we're not going to drop off very much because of a change in our weather setup working in as we go into late tonight. Not much happening right now, but you can certainly notice a couple severe storms trying to get going west of Wichita Falls, more severe storms in parts of Nebraska and the Dakotas. But we're watching this warm front. It could try to bring an isolated storm or two for some parts of southeast Kansas by tomorrow morning, but this is primarily going to keep us warm for sure as we head into Sunday, and we're on the warm side of the jet too, so that's all the more reason why we're going to keep things on the warm side as we go into Sunday. So let's break down the next 48 hours here with your future track forecast. We're going to turn mostly clear as we continue through the evening, but it's a temporary mostly clearing because ahead of that approaching warm front and that little upper level wave riding along the jet, we'll see some partly cloudy skies return starting by 1 o'clock, 2 in the morning. And here you can see as the front passes through, maybe a couple isolated showers, maybe a couple of isolated storms. Best shot for that looks to be on the Kansas side, west of 69. Same goes for northeast Oklahoma along US 75. Then everybody else is dry to start the morning out, mild in the morning, and then partly sunny skies will reign supreme as we definitely stay on the warm side with a good south wind kicking into gear. 69 in the morning, 82 by noon. Afternoon highs in Joplin will push close to 88, but I really think everybody will go into the mid-80s near Table Rock Lake and Stockton Lake to the upper 80s as you continue west across the region. Here's Memorial Day, Monday morning, low starting out around 70, quiet to start, but generally partly sunny skies, and we are dry still for our Memorial Day. So a detailed breakdown on your planner for Memorial Day has us starting mild and quiet in the morning with lows around 70, but we'll still have that good south wind in place, especially during the day at 15 to 25. That'll push us to 80 by noon, 86 for the afternoon, and then we'll start falling back into the upper 70s by 7 o'clock on your Memorial Day Monday. Beyond the holiday weekend, that's when Mother Nature will be ready to send our next storm system in on Tuesday. This could be our next best shot for scattered thunderstorms, and depending on how this sets up, this could potentially bring some strong, maybe severe storms, something we'll watch as we go into next week. But notice how the rain chances want to continue Wednesday, Thursday, and with another quick wave sliding by on Friday and then the Saturday. We do have rain chances eager to return for sure, but not for the next few days. We're keeping it dry overall for the rest of the holiday weekend. 88 tomorrow, 86 on Memorial Day, 84 on Tuesday, then a little stretch of 70s for highs Wednesday through next Friday, Chris.
In this forecast, I mean, we're in the end of May, going into June, and it has not felt like summer. I mean, we had that little stretch, and then it went back to like spring-like, fall-like temperatures. So this is a lot better.
Hopefully it's a good sign of the summer to come, but we know how crazy summers can get around here.
That's true. These temperatures may not last, so we should probably enjoy them.
Yes.
Nick, thank you so much. Journey to sports. Webb City playing in the opening round of the state tournament today.
Yeah, and the Cardinals are playing really well right now. They've given up just one run in their last 3 games. We've got the latest. Plus, Junction girls soccer meets Glendale in the state quarterfinals. Highlights and post-game reaction next. The Cardinals are finally back in action today in the opening round of the Class 5 state tournament. The last time the Cardinals played was over a week ago when they won the district championship against Junction. Webb City faces Platte County in the quarterfinal round. The Cardinals trail by as much as 10 in the game. They make it close though in the end, but ultimately Webb City sees their season come to an end today, falling 11-7. Pittsburgh High School announces their next head baseball coach. Eric Miller is the new leader of the program. He takes over for Keith Matlock. Matlock stepped down at the conclusion of the season after 10 years coaching the Purple Dragons. Miller returns to his alma mater. He went to Pittsburgh High School, then played 4 years at Pittsburgh State, and also he had a stint as an assistant coach for the Gorillas as well.
It's a very exciting time for me, to be able to get back out on the field after having not been on the field for a few years, to put the purple and white back on, to be involved with a team that is going to play its home games here at JC Ballpark, where I played my home games. It's a very exciting time. I've got some big shoes to fill here. I look forward to the challenge, look forward to continuing that success, and hopefully building on it a little bit.
Junction girls soccer returns to the state tournament for the first time since 2019. The Bulldogs get a home game in the quarterfinal round. CJ hosting Glendale this afternoon, looking for a spot in the Final Four. Bulldogs trailing by 1. Cadence Arnold has a chance to tie it up. Taylor Thompson makes the nice save for Glendale. Other way, traffic in the box. Falcons on the volley. 2-0 at half. Glendale keeps the pressure on. Riley Heeman with her left finds the empty net. And then from the other side, she does it again. Second goal of the day to put the game away. Junction's season comes to an end. The Bulldogs fall 4-0.
21 wins, that's something to be proud of. Our girls did a great job winning 21 games this year, and we ended up being 21-6. We finished third in the COC conference with 7-2 record, so we were very successful, I thought, in the COC conference as well, which in the past has always been a problem for us, being the small fish in a big pond there. And then winning our district, obviously very proud of that. Again, just very happy with the team's performance and effort throughout the year and getting better and better through the season.
Certainly a lot of good action going on. It's sad to see Webb City fall, but I mean, they played hard and they made it as far as they did, and I mean, that says something.
Absolutely. Platte County is a really good team, and when it was 10-0, I was a little worried, but they really fought back, made it a 4-run game, so good effort for them.
And they held Platte City to that 10. I mean, they stopped them is the thing, and that's what's important, is they put a stop to it, and they did their best to come back. So, Danny, thank you so much. Coming up next, we're going to tell you how the governor of New Mexico managed to make what's traditionally a special evening for high school students even more special. In New Mexico, students who were displaced by wildfires got a second chance at having a prom after the governor stepped in. About 75 juniors and seniors from Mora High School got dressed up for the event, which included crowning a prom king and queen. Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham said she was honored to host the party, saying the students deserve to celebrate the end of the school year and every milestone that comes with it. The Hermit's Peak and Calf Canyon fires are the largest in state's history. More than 312,000 acres have burned, resulting in school closures and evacuations. The wildfires were 47% contained as of Friday evening. So it's a situation where they've had to deal with this throughout the past several months, and at least they managed to get their prom, even if it was a little bit different than what they usually expect.
Well, prom is such a big deal for high schoolers, so that's really nice.
Yeah, and no matter how it panned out, it's something they're going to remember.
Oh, that is for sure. Something else we're going to remember is this beautiful Memorial Day weekend.
Yes, so usually we have a big day with thunderstorm chances to contend with, but we're quiet overall tomorrow and Monday with highs in the upper 80s.
I am definitely looking for, I've said it before, but I'm looking forward to this forecast. Danny, quick final note in sports.
Well, the Pitt State men captured the national championship in the outdoor track and field for Division II, so that's a huge deal for them.
Absolutely. Guys, thank you so much. That's our time for now. We'll see you back here at 9 and 10. Thanks for making us part of your night.